Personalization. We're all trying to have these one-on-one personalized conversations with our customers in the online world. Well, can we extend that into the physical world as well? Let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Daniel Burstein, Director of Editorial Content at Marketing Sherpa. I'm here at the Marketing Sherpa Media Center at IRCE, and joining me now is Maya Haig, the President of I See Me Personalized Books. Thank you for joining us, Maya.
Thank you.
So let's take a quick look at this product and tell us about your background and how you came to create this product.
So I had been working at General Mills for many years in consumer products marketing. This was back in the 90s, actually. And in 1998, when I went on maternity leave with our first child, my husband and I received a personalized book as a gift for him. And we thought it was awesome because it was personalized just for him, but it wasn't very well done. It was sort of schlocky. The illustrations weren't very good. The storyline wasn't very good. So we thought we can make a better personalized book. And that's how it started.
Okay, and speaking of sometimes things done schlocky and not very well, we see personalization done online all over the place. Sometimes it's pretty poorly done, right? Hi, and then name, and you see it was fake, and it's a different font and some of these things.
Right.
So where do you see marketers making mistakes in personalization? Where do you see them doing a good job?
Okay. Well, at I See Me, we are all about personalization. Everything that we do, our products themselves are personalized. We produce books that are made one by one for each child with your child's name and photo and information actually in the book. So they're truly produced to order. So our products themselves are personalized, and then we go beyond that to personalize the experience for the customer when you come to the site. And as you said, a lot of companies will simply try to change out the name, but they haven't changed out the experience. You've probably received direct mail pieces that have nothing to do with you, but they've got your name slapped on them. Well, something like that's really not going to make an impact. It's almost worse when you get that. And so it's really about understanding what segments are within your database and tailoring the messaging and the content specifically for them.
Yeah, and you're talking, I mean, you go as far as building a product around a customer, which is great. But what are some ways marketers can build that experience around the customer, like you talked about? I mean, one of the biggest challenges is first getting the data. How do you learn about the customers to understand who should I give this experience to, who should I give that experience to? That's
right. So the first effort that you have to do is to segment your customer base. And there are a couple of different ways to do that. Just starting with your own database. If you take your database and you divide it into segments and look at the customers who represent the top 20% of your revenues, and this applies whether you're a B2C business or a B2B business, for those customers in the top 20% of your revenues, try to learn everything that you can about them. What have they purchased? What time of year have they purchased? So some of the just purchasing factors that you can get from your own database, anything about where they live, what type of companies they work for. And then beyond that, there are a lot of third-party resources you can use to understand your audience of who comes to your website that are free. Google Analytics, Facebook Insights, Quantcast, and then focus groups. We do a lot of focus groups at I See Me. We meet with our customers almost every time I travel to a different city. We try to meet with customers in that city and ask them why they came to I See Me, why I See Me personalized books are different from the competition in their minds, why they come back. So you start to build this understanding of really who your customers are, and that has to be the first step.
So that's great. You go beyond the digital, the analytics. You're actually dealing in person with customers.
Yes, because that's where you get the intangible aspects of, okay, these are customers who are more sophisticated, they're more urban, or maybe they're not. Maybe they're more rural, depending on your business. Maybe they are all ages, but there's some psychographic commonality that you start to understand the more and more you talk to your customers. And that insight is really what will make your business go.
Okay, great. Now, what I like what you're doing here is you're not just personalizing in a digital environment. Let's take a look at another one of these books. You're personalizing in the physical world.
Yes.
And when I see this, so sure, B2C, I think B2B marketers could find this very valuable, right? Personalize a brochure with just the right product for that manufacturing customer, with just the right specifications, with just the right name. So give us a little understanding of how you do this. What's the technology that powers it? How expensive is it? Those sorts of things.
Sure, so I See Me is a company that produces personalized books and gifts for kids. The books are made one by one for each child. When you go to iseeme.com, you give us just a little bit of information. It takes 5 minutes. You give us the child's first name, last name, gender, birthday, maybe a message you want to be on the first page of the book, and their photo if you'd like. And then we make each book especially for each child. So in my very own name, for example, the animals bring letters to spell your child's name. So if your name is Jonathan, the jaguar might bring the J, the otter might bring the O, and they spell out your child's name in rhyme. So it's really fun, personalized products. When we do that, we make it very easy for the customer on our website just to enter a little bit of information in, and then we actually provide a personalized preview of your book before you order it, so you can see it live before you order. and then you receive this wonderful experience when you get your book. So I think for other marketers, the question would be, when someone comes to your site, we're gathering that information for our books, and then we are using it to personalize your experience while you're still on your site. So if you are a B2B business or other B2C business, are there ways that you can capture a little bit of information about who your customer is and dynamically change the site as they go throughout your site? So not even just the printed materials, but for example, we have welcome campaigns. When you come to icme.com, there's a modal that pops up that many retailers have that says, receive 20% off your first purchase at ICME. Well, we are now asking those customers to provide their first name, gender, and actually first name, email address, and relationship to recipient in that modal before they receive their 20% off, so that when they receive their first email from us, their email is tailored to exactly who they said they are in terms of their relationship with the recipient. And then the future emails we send to them are equally tailored to who they are, and we link them right to the right sections of our site. So if you're a B2C company or B2B company, is there some way that you can capture just a little bit of information when that person comes to your site that enables you to tailor the emails you send to them right away to be specific to that customer? And even the content, there are many software companies here at IRCE that are talking about ways that they can personalize the experience in real time to offer up the right content to that person who's arrived on your site.
Yeah, there's a few hundred of them back there,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So you talk about learning about the customer and then tailoring it. Do you continue to learn about the customer based on their behavior, what they're clicking on, what they're not, what they're opening?
Absolutely. I mean, the more they do on your site, the more you learn in real time, and you can change up. What you're recommending on the homepage. You can change up even when they're searching when they enter in a book for babies. If they've been looking at books for girls, then you can show them books for babies that are for girls, even in their search results. So the more they do on your site, the more you can tailor their experience. And certainly once they purchase, then we know what to recommend to them in our future communications and when they come back to the site.
Okay, let me ask you a little more about the technology behind the printing of something personalized.
Yes.
Because again, I can see if you're a B2B company, if you're selling robotics or software, for example, you can help champions make these brochures that are just about the specific software they need and just about their company. We'll print and send you 5 or 10 and pass it around to your team.
Yes.
Even if you're B2C, if you're selling something like a house or a condo or a car, hey, print a few personalized things about just the type of house you're buying and give it to your spouse and give it around. So we've all heard about digital presses and things getting advanced like this. How easy is it now, or what would you advise to marketers looking for technology to print these types of personalized collateral and send it to customers? What's on the engine behind it?
Well, ICME does it on the fly because we have to, right?
Okay.
When you enter in that information, you want to see right away what your book looks like. And we have software that we've written internally that generates that print-ready file that we submit immediately to be printed. And so we had to develop that within because it's so core to our business of what we do.
Okay.
If I were working for another B2C company where personalization isn't the core of the product, but rather I want to personalize the buying experience, then I think it goes back to understanding those segments that you have. And even if you developed 5 different brochures or 5 different email campaigns or 5 different experiences for someone when they come to the homepage, it may not be an infinite number, but you know those top segments of your customers, and you are somehow through your first lead with that customer, you're understanding just enough about them to know which one to send them. Then I think for example, if you're doing brochures and you have 5 different executions of that brochure, and you can, digital presses these days can print very low quantities for a cost that's not significantly more than 100 of the same thing. Then you have different communications that you can submit to your different segments.
Okay, and lastly, let me ask you, so Marketing Sherpa, we're all about inspirational stories of customer first marketing. You
Yes.
seem like a brand, like a company, very, very deep customer intimacy, very focused on the customer.
Yes.
So we talked about it a lot before the purchase. What do you do after the purchase to see how the product's working for the customer and perhaps inspire your team?
Yes. Well, we talk with our customers all the time through focus groups, as I've talked about. Our customer service team writes personal notes to our customers all the time, asking them for feedback and responding specifically to feedback that we hear to get that personal relationship with our customers however we can. And we recently had a phenomenal experience where our books really make children feel great about who they are because they are personalized with their name, and they make the child feel like they're the king of the castle that day, right, when they receive this book. And there's sort of a magic to the whole thing when you receive a personalized book, especially because our books are so personally, just deeply personalized with the child's name, even throughout the illustrations of the book and the photo throughout the book. So we received recently feedback from a customer whose child is autistic, severely autistic. He's nonverbal, and I think he's 11, and he received one of our personalized books about being a dinosaur explorer, and he was the dinosaur explorer throughout the story. His face was in the illustrations throughout the story, and he latched onto that book. The grandmother sent us pictures and held it to him and read it for 2 days straight, wouldn't let anyone touch it. And the family said, "Can I just see your book? We'd love to read it with you." And he said, "No, no." And I mean, literally those words were the first words he's spoken in 2 years. And so the grandmother, of course, was ecstatic because she had given the gift. She sent pictures of all this to us. And it was fun to share with our whole team because our mission at ICME is to make that child feel great about who they are through our personalized books, which are also entertaining and educational. But there's a meaning behind what we do.
Well, that's beautiful. I think that's what, I mean, we're not all serving children, but that's what all of our products should do. I think you said make them feel like the king of the castle, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us, Maya.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thanks for the time.
And thank you for watching, and you can learn more personalization tips and other e-commerce advice at marketingsherpa.com/IRCE.